I'm Bob Carney Jr. It's Memorial Day 2013, and I'm here to announce a transit revolution. Details to follow. The transit revolution is designed and intended to be a political movement, a mass movement, and a business. On D-Day, June 6th, I presented my transit revolution at a community mayoral forum. It started with a prayer.
We remember our voices, had a chance, shall we have this choice, but time is a luxury.
We'll hear my speech at Sabathani Community Center in a minute, but first a little history. The transit revolution is something I've been working on since 2007. It started with the Skyby.
I think I'm on camera.
It's on. Here's a 2009 clip at Waite Park. On transportation, we have a unique park system, and I want to build on that by developing an infrastructure that I call the Skyby, and I've got a map here. The idea is to have elevated, all-season bike and Segway and scooter and electric wheelchair Skyway paths. And what I have here is an initial route. It's not going to cover all of Minneapolis, but I met with one of the city planners, and he said that for an initial system, these routes are right where they should be. He used the phrase right on the money. Here's how this would work. You'd have one route that would go from the Milling District down the Nicollet Mall to the Convention Center, then over the 35 corridor to the Greenway. And it would go down the Greenway to link up with both of them.
Hello. I'm gonna help this guy out. We're gonna have a few announcements. He's one of our candidates. Everybody's gonna get 90 seconds intro.
Back to the Sabathani speech.
And so 90 seconds. But first for him, it's just an announcement. There's two folks that just get an announcement at the beginning.
Hi, thanks everybody. Wow, the microphone works. I appreciate being given the opportunity to speak here. I'm Bob Carney Jr., running for mayor. I've been starting a political career after getting hit hard by the economic meltdown. And in 2010, I ran against Emmer in the GOP primary, got about 10,000 votes. Last year, I got about 17,000 votes in the Republican primary for U.S. Senate.
By the way, here's a clip from that campaign against Emmer.
I look forward to seeing you at the state convention.
Tom was right after me.
I'm sorry, Bev, what is it? Is it a half hour? Somebody bring in my graphs.
I am promoting one issue in this campaign, and that is what I call a transit revolution. And the goal is to make a dramatic step forward in our transit system in the Twin Cities, and also to start a business that will be a worldwide business. Phase 1 is 5-minute bus service on all Minneapolis bus routes by running vans, 15-passenger vans, between the buses. So you don't wait more than 5 minutes for either a van or a bus on any city bus route. Phase 2 is going to be expanded by adding trailers and also neighborhood taxis so that you can go to and from a transit stop using a taxi. And phase 3 is going to be a system of being able to use the freeways to have 5-minute service on all the freeways. You may wonder, well, how do you transfer at a Cloverleaf? Well, I've got a plan for doing that and filing a patent on that. But this is what I'm going to be promoting. I've been campaigning downtown and telling people about it at bus stops, and they love it, and I think you'll love it too. It's going to be on Facebook at Transit Revolution. Twitter is Transit Rev. The website is transitrevolution.com. Thank you.
Yes. There you go, brother.
Let's look now at Phase 1 of the transit revolution. Phase 1 is designed to dramatically improve service on all the city bus routes shown here. The basic plan is simple. Supplement bus service with 15-passenger vans running every 5 minutes from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 days a week. The interior van layout has space for roll-on strollers and a wheelchair. And, glad you asked, all the vans will have bike racks. Right now, 10-minute service is called high frequency. Most MTC routes run from every 15 minutes to every half hour. When you reach a bus transfer intersection in a car, does your car suddenly stop for up to half an hour? If you miss a bus transfer, your trip can be delayed that much. Those long wait times are really a kind of highly regressive transit time tax. It's a tax that falls disproportionately on poor people and working people. We need to slash the transit time tax for everyone. Phase 1 cuts it to 5 minutes. During its heyday, the Minneapolis streetcar system didn't have printed schedules. If you missed one streetcar, you could see the next one coming. That's our goal for Phase 1. Here's my plan for city bus schedules. With no fixed schedules, vehicles will never slow down or stop to stay on schedule. We'll monitor real-time vehicle information, like this system running now in Madison, Wisconsin. As vans fill up, or when the gap goes over 5 minutes, reserve vans will be dispatched. They'll be stationed like ambulances around the city. To sum up, Phase 1 of the transit revolution will slash the transit time tax for everyone. For Phase 2, we'll start by adding specialized trailers, towed by the 15-passenger vans. We'll use one version with dense seating for rush hour. This layout has 32 seats and accommodates one wheelchair. The front seats fold up for 29 seats and 3 strollers. We'll charge extra for strollers during rush hour. Outside of rush hour, we'll use more spacious trailers designed for people to work with gadgets and laptops. For this configuration, the trailer and van together has 28 seats and accommodates 2 wheelchairs. 3 seats fold to the side. This makes space for up to half a dozen or more strollers and shopping carts. Both the spacious trailer layout and the ability to accommodate strollers and carts are crucial competitive advantages. Let's keep in mind our competition is cars. When demand is low, the vans will operate alone. The trailers are detached and parked at transit stops, ready when needed again. When operating alone, the vans can also provide extended service to suburbs, including freeway travel, something the trailers won't be used for. A front electric-powered steering wheel can be added, transforming the van-trailer combination into a hybrid that recovers energy by recharging the battery when braking. This would also allow the trailers to be repositioned by remote control. Solar panels could be added later. By shading the trailer-van combo, the panels will reduce or possibly eliminate the need for air conditioning. The next Phase 2 element is crucial for competing with cars. We'll use neighborhood taxis with small trailers to accommodate the handicapped, shopping carts, and strollers. By the way, people would typically sit in the back of the taxi unless they're handicapped or have a baby stroller. The trailer doors open upwards on the side and also the rear. The side doors are at the same height as the transit stop platforms, so people in carts can roll on and off. The rear door is for picking up and dropping off away from the transit stops. The rear of the trailer lowers to ground level. State legislation will define and set the rules for neighborhood taxis. This is a jobs program, including for part-time students. Licenses will be for 1-mile service areas, taking people to and from their homes and designated transit stops. Neighborhood taxis can redeploy the transit trailers as needed, often just moving them to the other side of the street. The map on the right shows Minneapolis bus routes drawn with lines half a mile wide, 4 long city blocks. Here's the point. Almost all the surface area of the city is within 2 long city blocks of a bus route. The neighborhood taxi service will cover the gap between your home and the nearest transit stop. Let's help seniors stay in their homes. Of course, neighborhood taxi service will also be provided near all light rail lines. Again, roll-on, roll-off service is the goal. Buses and vans will also change stop signals with automatic priority for emergency vehicles. For both public safety and faster transit, we need to get this equipment installed at all intersections as soon as possible. On to Phase 3. Here's a map showing population density in the Twin Cities. Phase 3 will extend our transit revolution within and in some ways beyond the 494-694 Beltway, the dashed yellow line. Here's a closer look at the Beltway with 4 major population areas, separated by the Mississippi. This map combines areas 1 and 2 and shows the light rail and North Star routes converging in downtown Minneapolis. Here's another broad view. As you can see, the combined areas 1 and 2 are surrounded by the other areas. Based on population concentration, our emerging rail system, and city street bus routes, the area inside the Beltway and west of the Mississippi is a logical initial focus for 5-minute transit service on freeways. Here are the major freeway speed routes, with some initial links to the St. Paul side. Phase 3 of the transit revolution will provide 5-minute service on these routes. You can transfer at all route intersections. By the way, you may wonder how people can transfer to intersecting routes at a cloverleaf, like this one at Cedar Avenue and Highway 62. Not to worry, I'm working on a patent for that. This map shows the 122 transit stops. Neighborhood taxi service will operate at most or all of these. The goal is for people to use transit anywhere inside the Beltway at freeway speed. Our transit revolution is a giant jobs program. It opens up the job market inside the Beltway to people who can't afford cars or who prefer to use transit. Here's a system of 10 initial routes with quick transfers at all intersections and covering all 122 transit stops. 7 of the 10 routes stop at the Minneapolis Rail interchange. This will be the first of 2 Grand Central stations. The second will be in St. Paul. Let's see how this system will promote equity and justice. It is fundamentally unjust to exclude people who can't afford cars from major areas of the job market. But beyond the range of city bus routes, we do effectively exclude these people today. Using the Phase 3 system, people in North Minneapolis can either bus downtown, where 7 of the 10 routes connect directly, or go to Route 2, shown here, which gives quick access to southwest intersections. By making all jobs inside the Beltway accessible without a car, Phase 3 brings us a lot closer to our ideal of a just and equitable society. All suburban commuter buses that come into Minneapolis today can make 2 or 3 stops at key intersections along the way. This makes it practical for suburbanites to go by bus anywhere in the Beltway. And let's not forget, poverty has increased a lot in the suburbs too. These people need transit access to jobs. Finally, all intersections and most of the stops in between will have park and ride. You can use your car to drive to the nearest park and ride, then use our Transit Revolution freeway system to reach all points within the Beltway. Here's a quick cost and revenue summary. For phases 1 and 2, I estimate the total annual cost at $272 million. All Minneapolis residents will receive a GO card paid for partly by a utility fee, just like what we do for water and solid waste removal. The rest of the money will come from a city sales tax and an MTC subsidy allocation. Of course, all suburban GO card holders can use the whole system. GO card sales will increase, and inner ring suburbs that benefit from city routes might also switch to the utility model, buying GO cards in bulk for their residents. With economies of scale at only 25% average utilization, the total cost per 5-mile trip is $1.65. Let me emphasize, that's not a fare, that's the total cost. Based on current MTC vehicle hour costs and the current subsidy percent, Phase 3 needs 67,000 daily riders to break even, using only standard buses for 5-minute weekday service from 6 a.m. to midnight. Let me repeat, the transit revolution is designed and intended to be a political movement, a mass movement, and a business. Unfortunately, in 2009, Mayor Ryback tried to ignore the mayoral campaign and largely succeeded. Here's what Papa John Kolstad had to say about that.
My name is Papa John Kolstad. I'm running for mayor of Minneapolis. I think that we should hold the mayor accountable. If he wants to run for mayor, then he should be at the forums. He has not made one single forum. I think it's an insult to the people of Northeast Minneapolis, and it's an insult to the people that organized this, that he doesn't care enough to come up here.
But I led an effort bringing the other candidates together, and we did get some coverage. Here's a Fox TV News excerpt.
Ryback is not treating us respectfully. He pretends we don't exist.
All 4 candidates, who have barely had a lick of media coverage, say Mayor R.T. Ryback is refusing to debate them because he has his eyes set on higher office.
He's making a bid for governor, and he doesn't want to get bogged up in the issues.
So far, Ryback has only agreed to debate Republican and Independents-endorsed Papa John Kolstad the night before the election.
Walk back in to the mayor's office and then turn right around and run for governor.
This year, the mayor's race is wide open, and people in Minneapolis have had 4 years to experience and think about the injustices of the so-called Great Recession. I've participated actively in the Occupy movement. In March of this year, I was forced to sell my south lot to pay in full my Wells Fargo mortgage and into foreclosure. It's left me completely out of cash. But I've got a bike, and I'm going to continue to act on my crazy beliefs that we the people are still in charge of this country and this city, and that our constitutional republic was designed to both make possible and encourage the kind of peaceful and practical change this transit revolution represents.